I'm gonna turn this on. It's on right now.
48?
The foyer.
Where is this light?
Right here?
I don't think you need it.
That's
Kind of dark though.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's right here. It's right here. But yeah, you can do that one too.
We need all the lights on?
Let me see.
This is OD, man. Too much light.
Yeah, too much light, bro.
Too much?
Is it on?
Yeah, it's recording right now. I don't think it looks terrible.
Dude, no hands down the pants on the podcast.
You just flash your
It's
disc.
called the No Ego Podcast, not hands down the pants.
Cats, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely dark. I'm not gonna lie.
I have a couple
We always
topics.
have the light on.
Yeah, it's just kind of dark.
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
That's it. Give me the fucking gloves. Yo, so we box and I beat
Yeah,
everyone.
we're boxers.
I beat everyone here.
When is the next boxing day?
Tournament?
I think Wednesday. No gym. You go to the gym Wednesday. I'm down. Quick. When's your first call?
We can
Wednesday?
box any day. Why do we have to not go to the gym to box?
Well, my whole afternoon is usually packed with calls. You take calls late.
Yeah, but they just boxed like while we were gone. We can literally box at that time.
I was joking.
Yeah, do you think they actually fucking did that, bro?
Me and Jake had a big argument.
Yeah, but
took it to the backyard.
We can easily do it if we wanted to. Just go outside, turn the lights on.
No, I'm not saying. No, I think that shirtless in the sun be sick. Get a little fucking tan on. Box in the sun, sweat a little bit.
Dude,
But it'll be hot.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm good at yak.
Yeah, we did just have crumble cookie. We just deleted.
We just had crumble cookie for the first time.
We just
I
deleted.
literally felt my body saying, "Why are you doing this to me?" As I was engulfing 3 different cookies.
I'll tell you what, sugar.
It literally spoke to me, my own body, and said that. Why?
Sugar
Why?
is not
Do
the
I actually
move.
feel like shit?
No, yeah, I am so fucking ungodly bloated right now. It's ridiculous.
But you're just full. You had a full day of eating.
Ready?
Oh my god.
Oh, that projectile.
Projectile.
Sugar is not needed at all. I'm telling you, it's just so.
We did 40 days without added sugar, and now we just had crumble cookie.
So
Yeah, I'm ready for another 40 days.
one thing we've implemented into our shenanigans is boxing. So whenever Pat pisses me off, take him in the backyard. Take it.
Yeah, Sean. Boxing's a good move. We need to get tougher.
Yo, did you wash the blood off him?
Mikey, get ready to.
Don't punch me in the stomach, bro. I'm gonna project that.
Ready? We got 2 pairs. This is mine. Ready? Mikey's gonna demonstrate
What are you doing?
Mikey's gonna demonstrate my knockout power. What is fucking?
Add a sound effect.
Yeah. Add a sound effect. Pretend like you just fall out of the chair. Ready?
Oh,
That editing's gonna be crazy. I know I'm the one doing it.
and the podcast.
Yeah.
Did you guys see? Nick Daracina? So he's on this like fitness thing. He's like trying to get in shape and stuff. And he did the Navy SEAL training with some guy on social media, right? Where you have to roll in the sand and dive in the ocean like crazy with that Brad kid from Penn State. And he then said to Sean, because the Navy SEAL guy was like, I challenged Sean Strickland to this and he didn't do it. And Nick Naracina said some shit like, oh damn, Sean couldn't do it and I did it. And then Sean said, oh yeah? You're talking fucking shit? And invited him to the thing to spar, and Nick is obviously a YouTuber.
Sure,
He's not gonna say no. Sean Strickland beat the living
Oh, he actually did it?
Dude, worse than Sneeko. He was elbowing him, beating the fuck out of Nick. It was it's like everyone in the comments why does he do this to people? Like he had
Why would
elbow
Nick
guards. He
even
was
do
going
that?
boom, boom, boom. He
Why
was
would Nick
screaming at
even-
Nick, come on, pussy, boom.
For
What was Nick
content.
doing? Was Nick getting
content.
pissed, or what was he doing?
He was
Well, what's he gonna do?
like Sneeko.
If he does anything, he's
when
dead.
When Sneeko was getting rocked,
No.
Sneeko went like this through one and got boom hit. Like you can't throw because if you throw, you're leaving your face open.
Yeah.
So he's just like this, and he was beating the living bad. It
Really?
was hard to watch.
Yeah, but
How many views
That's
did
what
that
I'm saying,
video
like,
get?
Massive, but Sean Strickland's an asshole for that.
Wouldn't Nick
shit.
just get mad?
I mean, you're not an asshole. I love you, Sean. He fucking did it to me. Huh?
Dude, he doesn't give a fuck about you, man.
Yeah, sure.
But why when was Nick like? What was his reaction? That was what I'm saying. Like, what did he do?
No. I didn't see the after clip. It was just a behind the scenes clip. It wasn't even from his video. It was just some guy zooming in. And Nick was just standing in the corner getting shots and getting fucking elbowed. It's just like it's hard to watch, bro. Like,
Is that for content though? Like, I mean,
no, it is, but it's real. He doesn't go easy on you. He showed the DMs. He posted the DMs. It's like, hey man, I thought you were just gonna like do an MMA workout, and he's like, no, we're only sparring. I'll see you tomorrow. Come if you're not a bitch.
Sean Strickland,
And Nick's like, I'm not gonna back out, but fuck, man. And then yeah, they did it. It's like you gotta look up on Twitter. It's brutal. It's
Yeah,
like
that is whack though, but like
because Nico started it.
Nick Nersano though, they just never probably threw a punch in his life.
No, dude, no.
but you just don't stand a chance against Sean Strickland. He's so fucking like, he's tall too, right?
He's like
he's
6'3".
fucking thick though.
6'2". Bro, he's 185 pounds is his weight class, and he cuts like 25 pounds. So he's like walking around like 205 probably.
Yeah, but isn't he asked now? He lost?
He was the champion less than a year ago.
He's trash.
Who's fighting this weekend?
Carlos Prates versus Ian Machado Gary.
Oh, whoa, that's my favorite.
Oh, that's the
fight
dude
of
who
all
took his wife's name, who's 30 years older than him. Right?
That it's so unwarranted hate. It's like complete bullshit. Someone made that up and everyone believes it.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. But what I will say is I remember him getting shit on. And that was because, I don't know if this is true, but I saw it on Twitter that the woman that he's married to is like double his age, and she wrote a book on how to date young athletes. Is that true?
It's how to be a wag.
How to be a wag?
A wag is someone who dates younger people for their money.
Yeah.
But it
that's
was,
the only reason why I know that.
it was just blown out of proportion. Like, if you look into it, it's like, it was a satire book. And like, that was the point of it. And it's like, she was writing it for...
Oh, you read it?
No. yeah.
How to be a wag.
Yeah.
That's a great book to
Fuck
read,
you,
man.
man.
That's great.
It's the only book I read.
I read every
besides
chapter.
The Bible and how to be a wag. That's the only books like you read.
Yeah.
You
So,
read
like,
that shit in a week.
I did the research because I was like, okay, like what is this? I dove into it, and it's like it was complete satire. Like he just gets ripped for it, but this dude has balls, bro. Like yeah, this is.
Dude, he's a good fighter, I heard.
No, wait, real quick.
No. Let me finish.
You
You're gonna interrupt and take it
no,
off.
Exactly. No.
So this is the lore that Pat's gonna shit on, but Nick, maybe you'll understand, hear it out. This kid took a short notice fight, his last fight against Shavkat, who's 17-0, knocks out or submits every single person. He has a 100% finish rate. This guy. 2 weeks notice or 3 weeks notice, took the fight against the guy that everyone was denying fights with, and beat him 2 rounds. He lost the fight. He lost 3 rounds, but he beat the guy 2 rounds. Stepped in against this guy. Got called in the morning. Sean Shelby or Dana White with them said like, "Hey, will you want to take this fight?" The main event dropped out, and he answered and said yes. Hung up, and they called him back and said, "Do you want to know who you're fighting?" This kid didn't even know who he was fighting. He just said yes. Went back to bed, woke up, found out who he was fighting. The guy was 5-0 in the UFC, 5 knockouts. Like you can glaze that all you want, but like that. Think about us boxing out there. This dude is a professional. He's a prize fighter. You need to win fights to win money, and you're a scumbag.
This is insane. This story.
And he literally just keeps fighting.
Well, I heard he's a good fighter. I don't really know.
Did the fight happen already?
Saturday.
Oh, this fight's happening Saturday?
Saturday. It's an insane fight.
Where he woke up, said yes, hung up, and went back to sleep?
Yeah. And his agent's like, do you want to know?
How old is he?
He's like fucking 26, 27.
Good for him.
He's
That's
insane.
fine. I love those stories.
That's the same thing as
He's
not
only
giving-
lost once in his whole career, bro. This guy is a stud. He gets on
No,
the
but-
warranted hate.
That's the same thing as just showing up to the fucking sales call. I don't even know what the lead is, income, nothing. Wait, yeah, I don't care. I'm closing them. It's the same thing.
I think that's
But
better
real
when
quick,
I do that.
That's
I wanted
a
to say
cold
real
call.
quick, dude. This is the last podcast we're gonna have in Austin.
Yeah, it's true.
This is the last
Guys,
podcast
we're moving.
gonna have. Yeah, we're leaving.
We're moving.
We're leaving this fucking shithole, man.
This is a great
We're in the
house.
city for all
They're
this
staying
money.
here. I'm leaving because
We gotta fix that painting though, real quick.
I have
before we
bigger
leave.
things to do. It's always been slanted since we got here.
Actually,
Yeah, like you fix it and it just goes right back down.
okay.
But yeah.
What a
let's-
great house.
So the next podcast will actually be in a hotel.
Yeah,
how
actually,
about that?
we actually will be.
Next podcast will be in a hotel. The one after that will be in Florida.
Yeah.
Florida with the Gators.
Guys.
Preferably in the outside area by our pool with the canal in the back.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to say about that. We can't open that door
Gross.
to the back and let fucking mosquitoes in. The whole purpose of that lanai thing is to keep all the fucking bugs out. We could literally go the next fucking however many months without having a single fucking bug in that area.
And still get sun.
and still get fucking sun, and still box,
And swim.
and still do flips into the fucking pool.
We can't box over there. It's too dangerous.
No, definitely can't. He falls in the pool, you lose.
Too dangerous.
No. What you do is you take off your socks because it's like granite. Not granite.
Yeah, no more
like,
flip-flops.
If you take off your socks, it's not gay. That's what you're saying?
Dude. Number one, how great was this weekend?
It's just a
This
great
weekend? Oh yeah, it was a great weekend.
It's a great
Easter,
weekend.
praise the Lord Jesus Christ, He is risen. That was such a beautiful weekend. Like church I went on Wednesday, and then we all went on Friday.
You had to throw that in there.
But we all went
I'm
on
better than
Friday.
you guys.
Friday was incredible. Let us sit in the mourn a little bit. Not the mourn because we know, but like the realness of it. And then Sunday was like the celebration more day.
Yeah, you know what it comes down to? You don't understand Christianity. You don't understand the story of Jesus until you've watched Passion of the Christ. Truthfully. I had, like we were talking about it, you have no idea what it represents until you actually see the story. And since then, I think I sent them to you guys, I've been seeing some crazy anime Jesus edits of him carrying the cross, and it's like, oh, the crowd's going crazy. And it's just like, I mean, that's separate, but you gotta watch Passion of the Christ. Anyone watching this? Great movie. Unbelievable watch. Unbelievable find, too.
This is no ego or anything, but I think one of the first podcasts here, or at the podcast at home, I said that. I'm like, you need to watch it because it allows you to like really see and understand. Because it's hard to imagine that, and it's not even close to what it was. But how great is that movie for you to picture it and make it a full story in your mind?
It definitely helps, bro.
It doesn't do it, like, just talking about it is great. It doesn't do it justice, though, till you see it.
You need to see it in your mind and be able to paint the picture in your mind,
Yeah.
visualization, and see it. That was such a blessed weekend.
Yeah. Also, reading the Bible, too. I think I said this last pod. Like, you gotta read the Bible. Instant. I was talking to Mom. I think I said this to Pat, too. Or maybe I said it to both of you guys. Instantly, your life gets better when you open the Bible. Instantly. Better energy, clearer mind. And just picking up that habit, dude, like, you'll just never regret opening the Bible. Even if you don't read it in, like, you don't have to read it in chronological order. I don't even know if that's right or wrong. But the Gospels. Mikey, shout out Mikey. The Gospels, gotta read them. Got to.
You need to read the words of your Creator, who knows you best.
100%, dude.
And when you do that, you get that clarity and that energy, like you're talking about, because
Clean energy.
because you understand. Oh, this
Yeah.
is happening, but
What
this
was your favorite gospel? Thomas's?
Thomas is not. You're funny. That's something I'm gonna read though. Like it's just not in the Bible. I don't know why.
Yeah, but he's one of the disciples, though. Like, how inaccurate could it be?
No. I don't. Yeah. It's not about that. But yeah.
What are you on right now?
I mean, I read all of them.
What are you reading now?
So for this
Read
past,
the whole New Testament?
No. I 2 books, Hebrews and Philemon, and then the last one, which is
Phalanges?
What do you want right now?
what's the last chapter of the Bible? It's Revelation.
Your relation.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna start tonight. But
Oh, the New Testament is?
yeah, it's the last. It's
You
like
read it in the morning and at night?
no, I mean I didn't even read it this morning, but I usually read it in the morning.
I think the morning is like the best
And
time
I
to read
was-
it. There's no better way to start your day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's amazing. I love it.
You gotta start with God, man. You
No,
gotta
I
do
know,
it.
you have to. You
First
have
thing
to.
of the day.
You have to. You got to get the word in you. But one more thing. My I guess favorite gospel, the one that I read Matthew at home and I didn't understand anything. Then I read John because Uncle Wally told me to read John because it helps people.
Don't fucking touch it.
Go.
And
Go.
and shout out Uncle Wall. And that's when stuff started clicking to me. Then I started doing mass research. Like I remember staying up multiple times before we moved. And just diving into like articles and research, just searching up everything I can.
Well, by research, you mean you went up to your computer and said, "What is Bible?"
I don't know. You are.
It's
you are
just weird.
a
Like, you're
child.
talking about me, like, starting a podcast with weird energy. Like, what? I don't know what's going on.
You're weird. You're a
It's just
child.
like, what kind of joke?
I just picture Mikey like, whoa, Uncle Wally, yeah, Bible, yeah. What is Bible?
Dude, if I ever read something, I immediately look it up on ChatGPT. Immediately.
You gotta download Haven.
Yeah.
You gotta download Haven. It's great. It's
I pay $20 a month for
Yeah.
ChatGPT. That's why I do
You
it.
gotta make sure it's like
You
biblically.
guys ever use Chat BBL?
Dude, the sugar has you high as shit.
Oh, I'm high as fuck.
Look at this fucking geeking, bro. His fucking legs are going all
I
over.
can't sit still.
Yeah, I
Way
mean,
too much
I
sugar
just-
going
I don't
through
feel
the
great.
system.
But wait. Yeah, one thing I want to do is reread Matthew. But dude, it's so beautiful because it's the characters of the Bible that you understand. Like, I'm like, who wrote this and who is saying these words? And then like you read Acts in the transition of Saul to Paul, who then wrote a majority of the the New Testament. So that's
Who wrote the Old Testament?
well, the prophets like Abraham and Moses and Samuel, who wrote about David. Like, once again, I don't know much about the Old Testament, but you have to dive into it and you have to know the characters and stuff. And that's why I was doing all the deep diving. And the show, The Chosen, helps you, like the Passion of the Christ, understand like this person's role and this person. Like Peter was more of a leader. Peter was the person that sorted off the guy's ear when they were about to take Jesus, and he was like the leader of the disciples.
He has a gospel or no?
He has a book in the Bible, Peter, who's written by Paul, but he's
Wait, what?
he doesn't have a gospel now.
How is it his, but it's written by Paul?
Well, because you got to realize, it's Paul and other writers of the Bible are like the recorders of it. So like, if you think of like interview type, like third persons to remove the bias, to my knowledge, would write parts of the Bible to make sure and extrapolate all information from all the disciples and all the witnesses, instead of it just being like this, and then people are like, oh, it was just his best friend, his bias is writing it.
That's the thing too. It's written on eyewitness account.
Eyewitness testimonies.
That is.
It's not just like it's not like it's not fugazi. It's not like God bless him. One of my friends and like a majority, a lot of
Yeah, but energy's fugazi.
lot of people who discredit
Yeah, honestly, talking
Christianity and Christ. It's literally because they haven't opened the Bible. I truly believe you cannot have an opinion on the Bible or Christianity if you do not read the Word of the Bible, and it's hard to get into. Maybe that's the reason why it's hard to get into.
It really is easy to read though.
No, I know, but the
Well, what do they say about the truth?
The truth is
The truth hurts.
truth hurts, and we're for life.
And that's the thing. I think that because we say that all the time, there's like this preconceived notion. Because what do people always say? It's like, oh yeah, God's gonna judge me. God's gonna do this. God's gonna do that. And it's like God is just. God is perfect, right? It's like that's our human error being worried about that. But in all reality, the Bible creates a one-lane path to commit to not only believing but having true faith in Jesus Christ. You do that, you're saved, you're good, right? And of course, there's other intricacies that go
New
into that.
Testament, yeah.
New Testament, right? So it's like everyone's worried about all this stuff, but in reality, they're just overthinking it. Relax.
The Old Testament proves the New Testament, though, because the Old Testament is prophesizing the New Testament, and the New Testament is fulfilling the prophecies.
So you read the Old Testament?
No, but it's filled.
Well, no, it
it's
isn't.
filled of prophecies, and then that's why Jesus came to fulfill them.
Yeah, everyone's concerned though about the Old Testament because they think it's too harsh. Like there's some stories in Genesis, I believe, if it was Genesis or
Yeah, it's like the joke of the New Testament God versus the Old Testament God. Like that's what they.
yeah, he wiped, like for example, Noah's Ark, right?
Yeah.
He wiped the earth and like scorched the earth with the floods. So everyone's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, relax.
That's why I got that book. It says on the back, why does God allow suffering? That's like a big question. Oh well, if God is so perfect and loves us, why does He allow kids to have cancer? Why does He allow this to happen and this to happen? And that's why I'm excited for that book, because there's answers to those questions.
Well, suffering is created by the mind.
Also that, but also physical suffering, like literal, like the baby being born with cancer. Like and there's way to answer those questions where you don't have to be like a full Christian to answer the questions. Like there's logical things to break it down. And if you don't want to have the conversations, then you're just kind of like you're not ready for it. Then.
Well, I also think that goes back to what we were talking about before. Like infinity exists. There's an infinite amount of combinations that can be born, right, on a long enough time span. So it's like not ideal, right? It's not ideal for like you just said, for a baby to have cancer, right? But there's also infinites that exists. So on a long enough time span, you'll have a healthy baby, you'll have a, God forbid, of course, an unhealthy baby, and then vice versa. Every single combination, because that's how the universe, God's creation, works.
Yeah.
Infinities within
Like,
that universe.
This story I gotta tell. And I know Pat's grinding his wheels in his head right now. Like, these kids talk so much. But this story is incredible.
Turn it around.
At Christian Life Austin, the other church that we go to, or that I go to, the Christian Life Austin, two people came on stage after the baptisms. And I remember I was like, I want to see the baptism. I want to see that energy. It was insane energy. People bawling their eyes out if they got dunked, and moms hugging their kids. It was incredible to see. And Pastor Brad Wilkinson, who I respect a lot, I talk to him basically after every time. He like knows me now. Like, these two, I don't even think they know my name.
No, what, really?
And I go up to them after every. I'm like, dude, you gotta think I'm annoying.
Actually,
I talk to.
After every story.
No,
thing, right?
yeah.
Don't let this pendulum suck in. Don't let it.
This is so beautiful. No, I could laugh at him. It's okay. Look at him.
Finish it.
A couple came on stage who he married. He eloped them, right? And the
What does eloped mean?
I'm pretty sure bring together in marriage. I think.
Pretty sure or sure?
I'll look it up. Just finish the story.
So I want you present on not looking at your phone.
I'm looking up elope.
Just look it up first because I want to see if that's the right word. I'm pretty sure maybe the vow is something that
Isn't that the past term for antelope?
Okay, well, hold on here. He did what? He eloped means to run away secretly to get married, typically without parental consent or a formal.
That's what you're doing? That's
Ceremony.
what you're doing at the church, huh?
Alright, Brad,
Where'd you get that
sorry.
fucking word, buddy?
Exposed, buddy.
Okay, stop.
Spontaneous or
Elope.
private
See,
wedding.
that's why I had to call him out because he was trying to act like, oh yeah, they got eloped, yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah, what does elope mean, buddy?
Okay, sorry, yeah. Eloped means like
It almost
Two
sounded like
runaway
it
kids.
fit though.
two runaway kids like from their parents get married at like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so
Wait, you and that what was our girl's name?
shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck.
From work.
So come on. Okay. You're gonna
Just say first name, last name.
You're scum. All right, so the story is this: they came together. Brad married these two people, and for years and years they were struggling. It's a young couple too. They were struggling to have babies. They had, to my knowledge, I think they had a miscarriage, possibly 2 miscarriages. I'm not sure, but they had complications.
Yeah.
And they were wondering, seeking God, probably yelling at God, cursing God. Why? I'm pretty sure the story. They had 2. Yeah, they had 2. What's it called? Miscarriages. They came on stage, and Brad said, "These people, 2 years later or a year later, whenever, got pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl." And they came out on stage and they showed the boy and the girl. So that proves right there, no matter what is happening in the moment, you don't know what it's going to turn into. Because they were probably absolutely horrendously angry and upset. And they had 2 miscarriages. And boom, God blessed them with a boy and a girl. Isn't that incredible?
It's incredible, dude.
That to me was mind-blowing seeing that.
And it's always
That
very
like
sad.
made me like low-key cry almost. Like I wasn't crying, but like that shit was crazy.
It's sad to see like parents who are really trying and it like takes them forever, but that's just a gift from God, bro, literally. And they went on stage beforehand, trying to get pregnant, announcing that to the church or not?
No, they were just they were talking to Brad. That's their pastor. Like these people have meetings with their pastor. That's why it would be nice to be in one location and like developing a relationship with your pastor who can like really know you and stuff like that, because that's incredible. It's like confession is not a thing in the Christian in the non-denominational, to my knowledge, but just talking with someone.
Well, repent.
Repentance is that's repent. You have to repent to God for your sins.
Oh, you don't do that to a pastor.
Well, like repentance, I think you can do confessions like that, but like at the end of the day, it says in the Bible to close your door and pray to your Father alone.
That I think makes the most logical sense, because I am genuinely of the theory. I know this is gonna be a hot take, but I'm genuinely of the theory that you actually don't need therapy. You don't need external forces. You can solve it yourself with the help of God. You truly can. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
Not saying those things don't help, because they do. But in all reality, it's like you gotta be accountable for your own thing, and like you got to figure it out with God. And you truly can do that. If you tell yourself you can't do that, though, you never will. And that's honestly what I do believe. That's come from someone though who's never been to therapy. But
Have you guys ever been to therapy?
no.
I booked an appointment once. I called, and the guy called me back. It was like, "Hey, we have a spot open." I'm like, "I don't need it."
Yeah.
Wow. I went to therapy.
How's that?
I went to therapy like a whole summer.
How was it? Break down your experience with therapy.
This is what he says.
You're the one who brought it up.
I just started crying.
Right after I say that, he says it was the best thing ever. But no,
Was
I
it?
mean, it's
Was it-
definitely.
was it good?
Therapy's dope, bro. Like it's all not that it's all ego that if you don't go, but all therapy is they're just this the same way that we're trained on sales calls to ask the right questions and get deep with people. They know what questions to ask you. Like they don't tell you anything. They're not. You don't go to a therapist for advice. You go to a therapist to
It's like a mirror.
talk about what's going on, what's bothering you, whatever it is, and like you just they know the questions to just peel off the layers, and then like all of a sudden you start talking about stuff, you start discovering stuff that like
About yourself.
maybe about yourself, stuff
Yeah.
that bothered you, that like you thought it was this like surface level,
Yeah.
but deep down then you get to the bottom, it's like wow, this is really the root cause of like all of this, or that I thought was just like this is what whatever it was, the root cause was something completely different.
Like it's like a tree, and then it's like
They
really
know,
all the
they
roots.
know how to just get you to like talk your way into like realizing stuff about yourself. It's the same thing as like they could say like 6 words, but it's like wow, that was the best session ever. You know what I mean? Because you just
It would
just
realistically be
basically
the
just
best
let shit
salesman.
out. Dude, think about it, because all human beings do 98% of the day is have a conversation in your own head. You do have no idea how warped, how like
Biased.
just how biased, how warped, how limited, how small that the thoughts in your head can make your world and like make your life seem, because you can seem so narrow. It can seem so narrow in your head because 96% of your thoughts every day are the same. But when you say these thoughts out loud that you think about it on a daily basis, they usually like worry, anxiety, whatever fear, whatever you have, you speak that out loud to a therapist. When you speak words, it's the same thing as like journaling, and it's the same. It's basically the same thing, just saying it out loud. But you bring life. You put these words to the fire, to the light, and you can see like how like if they make no sense, you're like, wow, that's a dumb way to think. Why am I thinking like that?
Yeah.
You kind of rethink the way you think.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude.
Don't fucking shit on therapy, man.
What?
Don't fucking shit on therapy. Get the fucking gloves out.
I definitely think.
Yeah, you're shit on therapy too.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain why I just shit on it too.
Give me gloves. Give me gloves. I'll take on both of you at the same time.
So
Shut up. End the shit, man.
What are you doing?
the reason why though is I think you can develop
Yeah,
that
that's horrible.
skill for yourself. Truthfully, I think you can actually develop that skill for yourself.
I know what you're doing is trying to cut me off and zoom in.
No, he's trying to zoom in on my stomach. I know what he's doing.
That's
But-
a great idea.
You know what I mean? I really do think that's a skill.
What?
You can develop that skill yourself. Obviously, you're gonna have to train yourself, and it's gonna be hard. But it's much more rewarding if you learn how to just like literally psychoanalyze your own thoughts
You don't need to do everything
instead
by
of
yourself.
relying. Well, I'm not meaning it like that though, because you're not alone. You're with God. If you pray to God long enough, faithfully enough, consistently enough, you will have way more of an advantage with God than you will any human being. I don't care how good they're trained. And that's the truth. That's a skill though that too many people want to ignore. That's why a lot of people, lifetime therapist goers end up committing suicide. Because they never built those skills for themselves. It's always found in someone else. And that's lonely and depressive. That's tough.
Who said lifetime therapy goers commit suicide?
Again, I'm just talking here.
You can't just say you can't just say a statement like that.
Yeah.
And like pretend it's true. You can't.
Yeah, I guess.
Because way more people go to therapy than you think. So there's no way a majority of people who go to
I'm
therapy
sure.
kill
I'm sure.
themselves.
Yeah,
There's no way.
I didn't mean like that for the record. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that dependent. It's like there's a dependency that you remove from yourself.
Yeah, what he's saying is like over talking about your issues and not actively trying to work on them from what you're learning is where you're going to consistently be putting that pendulum and your energy.
Or learning
that's-
how to think
that's not
about
what's-
your own issues though, and like listen to your own voice. And
That's
like,
what it's for, though. That's
and-
what it's for. You come to conclusions
of course,
about yourself.
you can truthfully do that, by yourself, and you can truthfully do that with the help of God. That comes down to raising your own consciousness level. Because you go to therapy,
You can say all you want, bro, but if you've never been to therapy, how are you gonna speak on this?
of course, and I never will. I honestly never will go. But
That's all you go.
and that's fine. But I really do.
That's just straight ego, though. Like,
But it's
I get you only God, but how will you ever know if you don't actually try?
Well, that's
You've
what I'm
already
saying,
tried talking to God. You tried to read the Bible, which is amazing. But there's
no,
plenty of
not
people-
I've never dove into the realm as deeply as I plan to this time around. And again, it's all talk until it happens. But again, this is where it's like I understand what it means to raise your consciousness level.
But
And
the
to
only
finish
reason,
that-
the
to finish that,
fact
though.
that I know the only reason why you don't want to go to therapy though is because you saw one random account with 8K followers on Twitter say therapy's gay.
So-
now you're never gonna go to therapy. That's like literally the reason.
So anyway,
No, it's not.
I'm
You
gonna
can't always say stuff for a big
explain.
brother.
I'm gonna explain the reason. I'll just talk to you. I understand raising your consciousness level. You raise your consciousness level by yourself through either reading books, praying, journaling, watching video. I don't care what it is. Experience. You raise your consciousness level high enough, dude. You will have a whole new perspective on not only your own thoughts, not only your life, but everything going on around you as well. It is a lack of consciousness that is the issue. It truthfully is. But going to therapy can raise your consciousness. Why? You come to conclusions. You talk to someone. You get this fucking negative pendulum, negative energy out of you. This is,
Part
in
of
theory,
raising-
a therapy session.
Raising your consciousness is letting go of negative emotions. Emotions are the most powerful thing that we hold on to. It's not thoughts. One emotion can cause thousands of thoughts. But you change the emotion, you immediately get rid of those thoughts, right? Where raising your consciousness is letting go of negative emotions that hold you back. And just feeling peace, love, joy, and a bunch of those emotions.
You know how you said a lot of people go to, like a lot more people than you think go to therapy?
Yeah?
Don't take offense to it. You're right about that. No shit. But the thing is about that is that how many people do you experience in your life? How many people do you experience on the calls? Day-to-day people that you know who constantly talk about how bad their situation is. So if many more people are going to
Yeah,
therapy,
that's what I mean.
that many more people are consistently staying in that pendulum from the therapy in their active life. So how many people actually use therapy to its full advantage? That's the question.
Do
Well,
you know the answer?
well,
That's the question.
Yeah, do you-
well,
do you
here's
know
the
answer?
thing.
Do you know
Here's
the
the
answer?
thing, though.
Do you know the
Imagine if they placed God at the same level of importance that they do their therapist. I don't know the correlation. I'd love to know the numbers. I would love to, but I read today in the Bible that faith in this, and this is paraphrasing, faith in the size of a mustard seed will allow you to plant a fig tree. And it might not be a fig tree in an ocean. I'm paraphrasing here. But think about that. And again, parables, whatever you want to say, I get it, but it's still like words, right? Faith in the size of a mustard seed will allow you to plant a fig tree in an ocean. And again, paraphrasing. I know for a fact the amount of people who truly have that level of faith. I don't know what the number is, but I'm sure a lot of people in therapy right now could benefit from having that much faith in God. I'm sure.
100%.
It's still a human you're talking to. It's
course.
still a human. And realistically, it's
You need to seek outside to understand.
not even
yourself.
that though. It's the faith aspect.
What-
They're putting all this faith in another human.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as like that the grandma who prays with the rosaries all day every day, but is still in like the same negative fear guilt loop. You know what I mean?
That's a human error.
You have to define faith.
And again, that's not my job though, because I'm sure it's different for everyone.
Define faith.
Again, this is what is defined that I can only speak on this, which is exactly what I feel like I understand. Faith in the size of a mustard seed will allow you to plant a fig tree in an ocean. Figure that out for yourself. That's
Define
it.
faith, bro.
I don't know if
Nah,
you can.
nah,
but
nah,
Bro,
Not
you
faith.
used to like Faith Judson in middle school, man. Just to define faith.
faith, I genuinely don't have an answer for you in that though. And this is what I mean though. It's like, bro, I hate to break it to you, but like these people, not everyone, I'm sure there's people who love God and have true faith in God that still go to therapy. But like they place so much
I
effort.
don't have like a you're not offending me by saying anything bad
Did
about
I
therapy.
say anything about him right now?
You said,
No,
I
but-
hate to break it to you.
No,
Yeah, again,
Pat,
yeah,
we,
again,
we,
you
we,
just
we
took it like
clearly
so
are
literally.
taking offense to it when we talk about therapy. Because
No,
you said
I'm
to me,
not.
what's the
Yeah,
answer?
no.
I don't know. I asked the
I'm
question.
playing devil's advocate. Oh, devil. I'm playing devil's advocate
Avocado.
because I'm the only one that went to therapy. I'm just like making you guys talk
Wait,
about it.
wait.
But there's
Answer
no
my-
right or wrong. There's no right or
Well,
wrong.
but-
No,
wait,
there's
wait,
not, because you
can
can
I say
level your
something?
conscious stuff in
Because
multiple ways.
What do you define as faith?
That's not for me.
Exactly. So when you say,
Yeah, but using it against me like, oh, we'll define faith.
well,
Yeah, that's what I
It's a
mean.
joke. It's a joke.
It's not though.
wait, let
You're
me
using
finish
humor
the
to
point.
go.
Let me finish the point. Because, like you guys said, the
Truth.
consciousness level.
You
and-
get you.
let me
take shit-
finish
you
the
take stuff
point.
way too
Let me
literally, go
fucking finish. The point about the grandma with the rosaries. You
She
can
doesn't
say
have-
whatever you want about conscious levels or faith. You don't know
You
what
spit
faith.
on me every third sentence.
Because what about this? What about the disciples? Do you not think there was an? I believe personally, based on my research and my reading, that there was some level of faith in the disciples. I know there was, but when Jesus really went to the cross, only one of them was there. So you're telling me all the faith in them up to that point, but their faith couldn't stretch to that point where they were going to die or get persecuted themselves? Does that mean that there's zero faith in them?
No.
I don't believe that.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say though. This is
Because
true.
God would have.
But this is what I'm trying to say though.
Slide.
It's truly, and again, I can't define it. It truly comes down to faith.
Dude, in
Faith-
my opinion, faith is just believing in the unseen.
That's an amazing thing because Hebrews 11:1 says, "Faith is the absence of things seen, the evidence of."
Lack of evidence of things seen.
Yeah, it's like Hebrews 11. Nick, look it up real quick, please. It's an amazing verse.
What is it?
Hebrews 11.
That's what faith is, bro. That's
Hebrews
everyone.
11:1. It's
why-
the evidence of
why
things
is-
not seen. No, it's the
Hebrews 11:1.
11:1.
Jesus walks around the whole Bible, the whole
Here, right
book of
here.
John.
Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Okay, so there's my answer then.
The evidence of things not seen.
I adopt this
Yeah.
answer of faith. So that's what I mean, though. It's
So
just
you're
like
spot on
when
with
you
it.
go to therapy, though. What are you looking for? What are you looking for in therapy? You don't have to say your personal one, but you've been to therapy. You know. What are you looking for in therapy?
It's like 6 years ago, bro.
What
No,
are
no, no, no.
thy-
Bro.
I had to break it to you. I don't remember my exact motive of what I was trying to do.
No. I'm not looking for your answer though. Like, just give me a blanket. Like, I need a blanket. You're like, when X person
Who is
goes to
X?
therapy,
Yeah, what is X trying to do?
what are they trying to
They're
accomplish
probably
by
trying.
going to therapy?
What do you think?
I don't know. Feel better. Maybe have someone to talk to.
No. They're trying to get
Pay for a
answers.
friend.
They're trying to
Most
connect
people
dots.
who go to therapy for the first time are going through a hard time that they don't feel comfortable like talking to with anyone they know.
Okay, so they're going for an extra.
They're trying to connect dots.
So okay, they're trying to connect dots. They're trying to get help, external help. Correct. What better external help is there in the entire existence of ever than faith in God? And that is what people are missing.
The only thing is this.
And I'm missing it too, clearly, because I can do better.
The only thing is this. The only thing for people who don't have faith, it looks different. Because if you go to a therapist, you're going to get direct answers in the moment, which is like the dopamine of like, okay, this person, yes, okay, and then they can go home and think about it, whatever. With God, you need to grow the relationship to God to unravel things in your own life. It took me 6 months of praying about 3 things every single day and really diving in. 6 whole months every single day to the day almost until it became clear to me. So that is a long game. That's why that's why I stopped. I didn't go to therapy because I was like, I'm getting close with God. I'm almost there. Something starts to add up. Let me just continue. And it's not bad if people go at all.
You can fix
But-
yourself too. Like
No, but therapy
like-
is good, and we know this. It's
Yeah, I'm
good.
sure it is.
With getting something off your chest, someone who's not going to laugh at you every 3 seconds, is great.
Yeah, no, it's huge.
What's the point of that?
That's good. That's good. Maybe
100%. 100%.
it's great.
I look at it this way.
You
When I
need
was
to have faith.
when I was in Arizona, I was down bad, down horrendous. Poor kid. Anyway, I was down horrendous. What did Pat say? Dude, go to therapy. Go to therapy. Go to
Did you go
therapy.
to therapy once?
No,
I thought you did.
No, not once.
I really thought you
Not
did.
once. And because even at my lowest, I knew that it was all
Did I ever tell you to go to therapy? I don't remember us doing that once.
multiple times.
But you weren't.
You
You weren't.
recommended it the
You,
whole
you
time.
didn't have a relationship with Jesus at that point, right?
Well, I was as far away from God as I've ever been ever in my million years. But what happened though? I did not connect with God. I did not in that time frame. I did not go to therapy. But what did I do? I genuinely improved my mindset. I started journaling, started reading, started doing the proper things like having a better routine, pursuing more purposeful work. And I don't want to say I fixed myself, right? But I drastically improved my baseline emotional state by working on myself. And I got better.
So you did therapy because at the end of the day, therapy is just therapeutic.
Yeah, I'm saying in the traditional sense of what we're talking about.
Traditional therapy.
So what I'm saying is, what I needed the most back then, rock bottom, going to my job, hating my work all day, getting drunk, spending $4K on clothes, because I didn't give a fuck. I needed God more than ever. More than ever. I would have sped up the process by light years.
Yeah, but what if God speaks to you through the therapist?
And again, I wouldn't doubt that's a realm. I wouldn't doubt that. But in all reality, I know that there's a statement in the Bible that says something along the lines of having faith in the form of a mustard seed, true faith, like actual, will allow you to plant a fig tree in the ocean.
I've never heard that quote before.
no, it's faith as small as a mustard seed.
I read it today in Luke.
If you
I'll
have
pull it
faith
up.
as small as a mustard seed, you can basically, I don't know.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it's like the fact that we don't,
Mountains,
the fact that we don't know this speaks volumes.
Just look it up. Just look it up. Just look it up.
Faith as small as a mustard seed.
Just no, literally just look up that. It's gonna come up immediately.
Bible verse.
It's said multiple times.
Yeah, it's said multiple times. I've also seen George Jenko months ago talk about this. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And okay, so this is the one about the mountain you were telling me about. Okay, Matthew 17:20. For truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for it.
So now stop. What does that mean in your situation? If you have faith in God and faith in Jesus and build a relationship with Him, and it's as small as a grain of seed, you can move mountains. You can tell a mountain to move. You can tell whatever you're dealing with to move aside and take faith and make it that mountain.
Of course. And like this is what I'm trying to, and this is the Luke quote that I read this morning, real quick for the reference. Luke 17:6. And the Lord said, if you had, and the Lord said, remember, if you had faith like a grain of mustard seed, you could say to this mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it would obey you. So you want to know what I take that as? I take it as two things. Two things. When we are at our lowest, giving into that negative energy, what do we think? When you're at your lowest.
Nothing can. Nothing's
It's gonna stay like this forever. I'm so bad.
Yeah.
So, what they mean by you will look at that mountain and tell it to move. What it means by uprooting the mulberry tree and planting it in the sea, into the sea, is that with God anything is possible. Which again, if you remember, that's spread out throughout the Bible, all over the place. Anything is possible. What seems like a delusion, oh my God, I'm so depressed, I'm so sad, my life is terrible, I can't fix this myself. With faith in the size of a mustard seed, it actually is possible. But that goes back to, are you the old lady holding onto the rosary living in fear? Or do you truly live with faith? Truly.
It's also said in multiple other ways, like Philippians 4:13, I can do it all through Christ who strengthens me.
That's what,
It's said multiple times in different parables.
but that's
So
literal.
many times.
That's literal. So that's why I don't buy the therapy. That's why I don't buy all this bullshit about, woke, whatever. we don't even get into that. I don't buy any of the shit. With God, anything is possible. No human can help you out with that.
Apparently that the Philippians 4:13 though, because I love that quote. Apparently it doesn't mean like what it says it means.
Well, let's look it up.
Yeah. I've seen.
Apparently it doesn't mean like we can do all things. It means
Through
something
Christ.
else. But I've seen like it
No,
means something
I
else.
know exactly. I looked it
Yeah.
up too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I honestly realize we all have a
It's-
bad habit of talking without fully knowing.
It's no, but this is good, bro.
No, this is how we get smarter. We just did.
Pat,
We just did it.
Because look,
I just said
listen, I can do all things
I
through
just
Christ
said
who
he
strengthens
doesn't know what it
me. You don't have to do it in that order. You can back it up and say, in Christ,
Well, here it is right here.
I can achieve all things.
Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through him who strengthens me, right? Again, this is ESV. Paul isn't saying you can do anything you want. He's saying you can endure any situation through Christ's strength, which we also learned is planted within us. In context, Paul is talking about being content in both abundance and lack. It's about spiritual strength to remain steady regardless of your circumstances, not limitless personal power.
Dude, Paul is such a brilliant writer because it says Paul speaks in these other ways that you need to dive into. Like, just like that. What did it say? Abundance?
And that's a whole other thing that I forgot to mention here is that the Bible it speaks in parables a lot, and there's a lot of cross references, which I don't know if this is related, but there's layers and layers to unpack about each verse.
Yeah.
And like, again, that most people aren't doing this. They're just not, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But I hate to break it to you, that's what you're missing. You're missing a verse like this to understand this. To understand what that really means by... Because people hear this. Plant a mulberry tree in an ocean, what the fuck? That's human error. Like, that's all logic. Faith is not logical. I don't know what it is, but it's not logical. Because doing the impossible is not logical.
Evidence of things not seen.
So that's what I mean. It's like we don't, I'm telling you, I promise you for the record, this is a lack of consciousness, this conversation right here. I promise you it is. Like, there is a higher level of consciousness that we can't fully see. In my opinion, it's faith. Faith is directly correlated, in my opinion, with a higher level of consciousness. It is. Or vice versa, whatever. But I'm telling you, we're not seeing the full picture. And too many people aren't.
George Anko says you can't read just the Bible verse. Always read the lines between it, after it, before it, and you have to paint the picture and then connect it because you can't just take one line.
No, I see that too. There's too much.
Yeah, I watch a lot of George Anko's podcasts, yeah. He put me on to...
Is he always like religious or what does he usually do?
Well...
He talks about
apparently the whole backstory about Logan and them was like he was bringing too much religion and faith-based into it, and Logan was saying that like...
They still are boys.
They're like, no, they're cool, but they're not like... Yeah, I don't think they're like friends, but they're cool. But Mike Maddox just went on his podcast again. George Janko's podcast is unbelievably insightful, and also George Janko got called out because he's still learning too. He's like pretty new. His parents were strictly Catholic, and his mom and him, like he says all the time, like argue, scream at each other because like they don't have the same viewpoints and everything. George Janko's really something to look up to and talk to, and he has a cigar shop in Scottsdale, Arizona. His dad owns
Yeah, I remember him. I've seen a clip of him talking about that.
Yeah, he's like, my dad's like, he thinks he's sick. He's like there. He's like, my son George, fucking yeah.
He's a legend, George.
Yeah, no,
he's
he is.
huge.
Yeah, no,
he's fucking huge.
I remember looking at George Janko's YouTube channel like 5 years ago and being like, damn, he's one of the ones that like didn't adapt. I remember saying that.
Adapt?
Wow, you got fucking cooked for the record.
Because I was like, oh, I remember looking at his YouTube channel. I remember his back.
Like, damn, he fell off.
He had sideburns down to here because he was like the first YouTuber, the first Viner. Like he was in that group, and I remember being like, damn, like Logan's just like that much bigger, and he's like kind of gonna be stuck with like the 2 million followers. Now he's like 5 million subs or whatever, and like yeah, he's huge.
2 million, you were saying this at?
You know, George Janko's been big for a minute, but like yeah,
yo. Who the fuck is eating chocolate here?
I don't know what that is.
Fatty Patty, Pinhead Pat. Yo, Jerk off Jake. Oh yeah, we have new nicknames. Wanna give them? Wanna say them?
Oh yeah, say it. Go ahead.
All right, so behind the camera we got Jerk off Jake,
I needed that. That was gay.
who's just
That's the point. Like it shouldn't make you happy being.
mine's based off being a fucking pig.
It makes perfect sense.
So we have Jerk off
I
Jake.
don't fucking jerk off.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay.
You literally did fucking
Prove it.
I don't even.
That's crazy. He's serious. I know. He's
Are you
serious.
serious?
You never heard the word
Don't
jerk, like
try.
fucking jerk off?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
We're
we're not
saying
saying
you
you jerk
fucking
off. Jerk off Jake. We got Mud Dog Mike. We got Pinhead Pat, which is the fucking best one.
It really is the
And then
best.
what is yours? We haven't.
I haven't really.
No, say it. Say the one you wanted to have your nickname as.
I think Nimrod
What was it?
Nick is
Oh,
like,
yeah,
if we're going for that. But I don't want to pick my own fucking name.
Neanderthal Nick.
That could work. It could work.
Fucking looks and brain.
What?
Wait. Something about how red he gets. Like Volcano Nick, but like that doesn't match. It has to.
Yeah, it has to be alliteration, buddy.
Hard R Nick. Could do that.
Nicholas.
Sick.
Nuclear Nick.
Oh,
yeah. Something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
Just gets mad.
Nuclear.
Nuclear Nick. Okay.
Fucking-
Slick Nick.
No. That could be.
Neck vein
he's
Nick.
like-
because
he's
when
like-
Neck vein Nick. There you go.
Neck vein
He's
Nick.
like, he's like,
I like
That's
that.
really good.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, nuclear works too because when Nick comes down, bah! It's like a fucking nuke. It's like you just blew up a fucking.
You can have multiple. I keep adding to the list everyone.
Oh yeah, Mud Dog.
What was the other one for you though? There's one more for you.
Mud Dog Mike.
Oh,
No, there's another one.
metabolic Mike.
Metabolic Mike.
Metabolic Mike. Pinhead Pat, I think, is just the.
Yeah. Pinhead Pat, Patrick Star. You do either one.
Simon Creative. The big guy from SpongeBob.
Buddy, you're as smart as a fucking pin. A bowling pin.
A bowling pin. And
Nah.
jerk off Jake.
Beat you in bowling though.
You did? Remember Jake being like, dude, I will fucking, I'll put money on. He didn't win one game. Nick won them all. That shit was crazy. And then, wait, let's call out Jake. And then Jake's like this, yo, I'm the fucking fastest person out of everybody. I fucking smoke his ass in a race. I have like fucking cargos on.
No,
Like,
I was heavy.
you're heavier now. When you got here, you were lean as fuck.
I was like
Boxing's the next
195.
challenge.
I was like 193.
Okay, I was like 180.
I'm fast when I'm 185.
You're never gonna beat me in a race,
If I was 185, I'd beat you.
but you'll never get down there again. So
I'll get down right now.
What are you going to?
Let's all box tomorrow. I'm trying to box.
I want boxing
Everybody.
now. What?
What are you trying to get down to?
190? 188?
do you want to hit mitts?
Alright.
No.
You guys good?
Gloves
Yeah,
on.
it's
That's
good.
what we're
Let's
doing.
go
Guys,
back. We'll go-
thanks for
we'll go
watching. Peace out.
He's young.
I'm gonna upload this tomorrow. Instead of, because we've been doing it too late during the week.
Just like